Now at 9, Mercy Hospital in Joplin wins an appeal in a case that went all the way to the Missouri Supreme Court. Plus, why students at a Joplin elementary school taped their principal to the wall. And how a Joplin bookstore is making sure local students have plenty to eat for lunch.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Mercy Joplin wins an appeal to the Missouri Supreme Court. The case concerns a shooting that occurred in the hospital parking lot in December of 2015. According to court documents, a woman who was high on methamphetamine got a gun out of a visitor's car and then shot the gun owner in the neck. The shooting victim, Stephen Harner, survived and sued Mercy Hospital for negligence. He claimed the hospital did not follow its own security procedures prior to the shooting. A jury found Mercy liable. And now Mercy has won its appeal after the Missouri Supreme Court found there was insufficient evidence that the hospital had reason to know that the woman was dangerous. A Southeast Kansas manufacturer will pay for alleged environmental violations. Cobalt Boats will pay nearly $134,000 in civil penalties because of alleged violations at its plant in Neodesha, Kansas. The Environmental Protection Agency says the boat manufacturing facility failed to comply with regulations intended to prevent releases of hazardous waste. The EPA cites violations concerning storage, monitoring, and precautionary procedures, as well as record keeping. Agency says Cobalt has taken steps to comply with the regulations. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joining us with a first look at the weather.
Well, it was definitely a warmer day for us today. Only lower 40s yesterday. Today, we got into the mid to upper 50s, which is pretty good. 57 was our high. Started cold this morning at 22. 47, though, is our average high for this time of the year. Let's go outside. It's 44 in Joplin, 43 in Pittsburgh. We do have those clouds increasing, but we look fine, and we're going to be fine as we go through the overnight hours tonight. 45 Fort Scott, 42 in Neosho. Miami is sitting at 45 degrees. A little windy. South winds have been kicking in all day long at about 10 to 20, and at times we're getting gusts 20 upwards to 25, and that is what we're going to see as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Also, clouds continue to thicken up. We're tracking our next storm system out to the west. It will start to affect us, especially into the holiday weekend. So I'm going to have those details for you here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, students at Stapleton Elementary in Joplin today taped their principal to the wall as a reward for a food drive. Students have been collecting food for the past several days. The class that collected the most had the honor of taping the school's principal, Casey Tyler, to the wall. He was a good sport about it, by the way. Officials say it's a good way to encourage the students to give back to those in need.
So we on the SOAR team believe that it's important for our students to know how to give back in their community to make a difference and to know how it is to give without needing a return. So in order to show them that, we made this more personal for them to show them how their giving can be fun.
This reward comes after the students surpassed their goal of collecting at least 2,000 cans of food. Well, a bookstore owner in Joplin is doing his part to provide for area students. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
Just off Main Street in Joplin lies a bookstore that has been a part of the community for 23 years. It has everything a good bookstore should have. A maze of shelves to get lost in, a reading chair on every corner, and every genre imaginable.
I've always had a fondness of books. I was raised around books. My grandmother, which we lived with our grandmother in Webb City, she managed 2 bookstores in Joplin.
Bob Wolf has had the pleasure of being among these bound works of art all his life. He's the proud owner of Always Buying Books, and he's no stranger to providing services to those in need.
Also have a jail outreach, and we had a gal come in, literally, when she got released, said that we had saved her life just by the books that we had sent her.
But Bob's latest campaign has less to do with books and more to do with food.
Just to help for the school lunches. I found out that some of the kids, if they get behind on paying lunches, they get a secondary lunch, and I just don't think that's right, so we're going to help what we can.
Every week, Bob donates money to area schools to help provide for student lunches. The donations come from his aptly named book buffet, where people can take as many books as they want in exchange for however much they want to donate.
One kid can have to eat a peanut butter sandwich while the kid across the table is eating a full hot meal. You know, it's just doesn't sound right to me. I think all schools should make free lunches available.
Bob's generosity has stretched to 16 different schools in the area, and he says he has no intention of stopping.
Yeah, it's forever. We're going to do it through the summer too, because they have breakfast, and there's no need to stop it or even take a break.
Reporting in Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Well, the Wheaton School District replied to the news about the donation saying, quote, "We are very grateful and thankful for his generosity in helping out our students and families in Wheaton, Missouri." A great deed. Well, Joplin Real Estate Agency today donated more than $21,000 to the Ronald McDonald House. Reese Nichols raised the money by having agents donate $100 for every home they help buy or sell from April through October. That money will help provide 211 free nights of lodging and support for families in need of the Ronald McDonald House's services.
Because it's a way to give back, and it's just such an impactful thing. We help families find homes, and the Ronald McDonald House provides homes for families when they have a child in the hospital, and it's just a very meaningful, feel-good way.
The donations were part of Reese Nichols' Gold Key project. Across the country, that project raised more than $300,000. A Freeman fundraiser also brought in big bucks for another area charity. Today, the health provider hosted its 4th annual Christmas t-shirt themed fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. Fundraiser brought in nearly $4,000 to continue to provide support for local sick and injured kids.
Anywhere from $20 gas cards to $100 gas cards. We're sending kids all across the state, all across the country, helping with travel expenses. $4,000 can go a long way in gas for parents who may or may not be able to get their kids to those specialty trips.
These funds to CMN also go to provide life-saving medications such as programs as Higgins Heroes and the Miracle Service Dog program. Well, coming up, using technology to keep your goals.
Holiday treats can throw off many people's health goals. I'm Jackie Ibanez with more on the effectiveness of fitness devices and ways to stay in shape this season. That's all straight ahead.
Well, a holiday meal doesn't have to be unhealthy. Researchers in the UK say side dishes that go with a typical Christmas dinner can offer significant benefits. They suggest steaming Brussels sprouts, which help fight chronic conditions such as diabetes and cancer, carrots, which are associated with a 20% reduction in all types of cancer, and when it comes to potatoes, rooster potatoes have a nice red skin and are able to resist disease. Well, if you're planning on using fitness trackers to monitor your health over the holidays, technology experts say the data can sometimes be useless if you don't know what to do with it. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez takes a closer look at how you can get the most out of your gadgets and stay active during and after the holidays.
With food and drink usually aplenty during the holidays, all the treats can take a toll on our waistlines. According to a study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, the average person gains roughly 1 pound during the season.
Merry Christmas.
Since it's also the season of gifting, many people could be unwrapping fitness devices to revamp their workouts heading into the new year. But while health trackers can help us gauge our activity levels, sleep patterns, and more, Samantha Kleinberg of the Stevens Institute of Technology says all the data can be overwhelming.
Now, when you see an advertisement for a new device, it's a smartwatch or something to track your sleep or a ring, all these different form factors, you're thinking, oh, that's cool, I can learn more, right? And then there's this tenuous connection of somehow if I learn more, I'm able to do stuff with it. But the commercials don't really tell you how you're going to do that.
Having a goal of what you want to achieve can help you better make sense of the data. Stell Kleinberg says there can be inaccuracies.
People use the information from their Fitbit or other device to figure out, here's how many calories I'm burning in a day, so that's how many calories I can eat, and if I eat less than that, I'm going to lose weight. But if the device is inaccurate, then you're going to get a different result than you expect.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends adults get at least 150 minutes of moderate physical activity every week and dedicate 2 days to strengthening their muscles. Going on walks to see holiday lights and parking farther away from stores when shopping are simple tricks the CDC says you can do to stay moving this season. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Well, regular toothbrushing, even while in the hospital, could save lives. Researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital have linked brushing your teeth to lower rates of pneumonia for hospitalized patients and lower ICU mortality rates. Hospital-acquired pneumonia typically enters through bacteria in the mouth and into the lungs. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later a pair of Galena High School football standouts signed to continue their careers in college.
Well, it turned out to be a warmer day for us today, but a lot of clouds and also kind of windy across the region as our southerly winds have been increasing just a bit. And if we look back at the month so far, about almost 2/3 of the way through, you can actually see we've had 13 days that have been above normal. Your red days and then your normal days are the gray days, and then the blue days, we've had 3 days below normal. Yesterday, a high temp of only 43, which was below normal. But just like November, December, majority above where we should be for this time of the year. Let's look outside. Nice shot. This is our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam. We are looking northeast through downtown. Looks pretty good across the region. You can see our temperatures cool yesterday and then nice little warm up for us today. Of course, now we're dropping back through the 40s, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Outside, 39 in Stockton, 41 in Anderson. We have 43 in Pittsburgh, 45 in Veneta. So it's chilly, not near as cold as what we saw last night. Southerly winds are going to keep those temperatures up just a little bit. And at times we've had winds gusting 20 upwards to about 25 miles per hour. These are calming down a bit over the past few hours, but as we get into the daytime hours for us tomorrow, those winds will start to pick up just a little bit more. Look at our gusts, 25 to 30. For us mid-morning tomorrow. Not quite as strong on Thursday, but still we're going to have gusts 15 to 20 upwards to about 25 miles per hour at times. Clouds continue to thicken. Next wave is building out to the west. Main storm system right off the coast of California. Here's our first little wave, and then our second wave and a third wave behind it. And all these are going to head toward us as we go through the next several days. So this is our bigger system that will affect us by Christmas. Ahead of it, that first wave gives us rain Thursday night, and into Friday. It pushes east, so if you're traveling Thursday or Friday, it is going to be wet. Here's Saturday night, rain sneaks back in, so a drier day on Saturday, and then the rain increases again as we get into Saturday night. And Sunday, most likely thunderstorms. Late Sunday, so a lot to watch as we go into the weekend. All right, tonight, a lot of clouds, lower 40s. We're going to stay dry. Tomorrow, mainly dry, may get a sprinkle. Temperatures mid-50s by noon. Most of us 58, 57-ish once we get into the afternoon. Tomorrow night, clouds stick around. You can see a few light hit and miss showers popping up on Thursday. This is just going to be like random raindrops. A little bit of drizzle, but the rain really picks up as we go into Thursday night. So this is going to be our next storm system that actually gives us some decent amounts of rain. 57 tomorrow, 60 on Thursday, 57 on Friday. Rain chances continue all the way into the holiday weekend. Cooling down a little bit Christmas Day.
Christmas Eve, 63 degrees and thunderstorms.
I know.
That doesn't even sound right.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That should be like Memorial Weekend weather or something. Yeah. All right, thanks, Doug.
Yep.
Well, coming up, getting ready to get out.
People across the country gearing up for a busy holiday travel season. I'm Casey Stiegel at DFW International Airport. We've got that story straight ahead.
Google agreed to pay $700 million to states and consumers to settle an antitrust lawsuit. The Justice Department and dozens of states accuse the company of abusing its dominance in online searches. They say Google allegedly harmed competition through deals with wireless carriers and smartphone makers to make Google search their default or exclusive option. According to the settlement, about $630 million will go to a fund to benefit about 102 million consumers. Well, according to a survey from the American Christmas Tree Association, 77% of Americans who display a Christmas tree say they opt for an artificial one. The shift to fake trees has been steady since the mid-90s and spiked in 2021. According to the Real Christmas Tree Board, the national Christmas tree industry has been in a slow decline over 40 to 50 years. Tree farmers also took a big hit during the economic downturn of 2008. Officials across the country are gearing up for the start of what could be a record-breaking holiday travel season. Fox News senior correspondent Casey Stiegel has more from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport.
Travel demand has been off the charts all of 2023, and this holiday season is no different.
The holiday travel season doesn't officially start until Saturday, but it's already ramping up at airports across the country, and this year could be one for the record books. AAA says 115 million Americans will travel more than 50 miles from home. That's 2% more than last year. More than 7 million of those travelers will be flying, and the TSA says they can play an important role in making sure those long lines at security do not get bogged down.
There will be lines, it will be busy, and my suggestion to you is use that time in the queue to your advantage. Begin to empty your pockets.
Another big concern, staffing. There is a major shortage of air traffic controllers. The FAA says they're understaffed by at least 10%, which might translate into longer wait times once you board your flight.
We will make sure that safety is always above efficiency, so if there is a shortage of air traffic controllers, we would reduce traffic to accommodate.
And as usual, with big crowds expected, airlines across the country are urging folks to get to the airport at least 2 hours early.
We missed our flight and everything, not due to us, but it's just so packed.
TSA says the busiest travel days will be Thursday and Friday before Christmas and also several days following the holiday. That is the latest from DFW International Airport. Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
Up next, a timely warning from the Coffeyville, Kansas Police Department to be on the lookout for the Grinch. The Coffeyville, Kansas Police Department wants to make sure the Grinch doesn't steal your Christmas. They've released this video apparently confirming that the Grinch was spotted coming into town. He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch. GPS had been tracking his ankle monitor, which has since been removed. Coffeyville PD wants to make sure the public has all their gifts locked up and secure and asked everyone to please keep their eyes open for this green menace. Seriously though, protect your gifts. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. We'll meet the Joplin couple behind a viral video of a birthday meal straight out of Jurassic Park. Plus, the Colorado Supreme Court gives its ruling on whether Donald Trump is allowed on that state's presidential primary ballot.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. If you were scrolling on social media in the past couple of weeks, you probably watched a video made by a Joplin resident that is going viral. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
The video that has millions and millions of views shows the plate's presentation. It features a volcano made with mashed potatoes with the lava crafted from gravy. Broccoli, asparagus, mushrooms, and dinosaur-shaped nuggets add to the microenvironment.
I felt like a little kid. I mean, I got so excited. It was, I wasn't expecting it. at all, but I really wanted it, and I had completely forgotten how much I actually wanted until I saw it.
No way! I totally forgot I wanted that. Juan Laporte's birthday dinner organized by his girlfriend went viral on social media at the beginning of the month. Juan forgot about it, but his girlfriend, Celine Fayad, did not.
I first just wanted to film his reaction because I knew he was going to react to it. Like, I knew he was not suspecting.
She shared the video with their family and friends. Then she decided to post it on TikTok.
You wake up the next day and, my friend told me that it's like at 600,000 views, and I was like, okay, this is probably the end, right? Like, it should probably stop at this point. And then it just kept going, and I kept waking up, and I'm not gonna lie, it did distract me from studying.
Celine and Juan are both second-year students at KCU.
Just being in med school or just working all the time, it's stressful. So having an outlet like that, and just to be able to just like kind of let go and just be playful and childish, but in a wholesome manner, I think it was really nice.
Now, they also have a plan B.
I mean, I guess if school fails, then I guess I'll do TikTok. No, I'm kidding.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Oh my God.
Now, the video currently has 13 million views and almost 1.7 million likes on TikTok. Wow. But it was also reposted by other pages, adding bigger numbers to the count. It's a pretty cool idea, though. Carthage residents went on an evening jog through a light display. Carthage Nazarene hosted the Run Through the Lights event. Folks were able to run, walk, or jog through the Way of Salvation light display as part of a group. The course was 1 mile long. There was also an option for people to go another 4 miles through the Carthage Square to sparkle in the park at Central Park before returning to Fairview Nazarene Church. Colorado's Supreme Court has removed Donald Trump from the state's 2024 ballot. The court says the former president is not an eligible candidate because of the 14th Amendment. It contains vague language that forbids officials who take an oath to support the Constitution from future office if they engage in insurrection. Now, Trump's campaign vowed to appeal the decision. Texas Republicans are challenging the federal government's authority over immigration with a dramatic new law to stem the tide of migrants. The new Texas law adds another tension point over immigration amid a struggle between the White House and Senate negotiators to reach a deal on border security. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has the story.
In the Texas border town of Eagle Pass, authorities processed a record number of migrants, over 4,500 Monday night. And Tuesday, large groups keep arriving, overwhelming Border Patrol and adding urgency for Congress to update immigration policy.
We are making real progress on this. We finally have everybody at the table and everyone admitting that this is a national security crisis.
Progress or not, U.S. border legislation is not expected to be finalized until the new year. In the meantime, Texas Governor Greg Abbott continues to push the boundaries on policing illegal immigration at the state level.
Biden's deliberate inaction has left Texas to fend for itself.
Abbott signed 3 immigration bills into law Monday, earmarking more funds to continue construction of the border wall and increasing the penalties for smuggling migrants. But the most controversial new law gives Texas police the authority to arrest undocumented migrants anywhere in the state.
The goal of Senate Bill 4 is to stop the tidal wave of illegal entry into Texas.
The law already being challenged in court as Republicans continue to press the White House for radical immigration reform.
The president can give everyone a great Christmas present by doing an about-face and saying he will secure the border and shut it down now.
Top Biden officials are involved in the Senate border talks. Republicans are pushing to raise the standard under which migrants can seek asylum and for an expedited removal process for those who don't qualify. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
The Pentagon says Houthi rebels in Yemen have launched more than 100 drone and missile attacks on at least 10 merchant ships in the Red Sea. The attacks have prompted shipping companies to stop using faster trade routes through the Red Sea, meaning you could end up paying more for just about everything you buy. Houthis, which are backed by Iran, say they're carrying out the attacks in retaliation for Israel's war against Hamas. A bit later, a larger than expected eruption.
After more than a month of earthquakes, Iceland is experiencing a major volcanic eruption. I'm Brian Yennis in New York. I've got the details and the video coming up.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a decent Tuesday for us today. Warmer, about 15 degrees warmer than what we saw yesterday. It was windy, a lot of clouds across the region, and we are still seeing a lot of clouds out there right now. In fact, get used to it. We're not going to see much in the way of sunshine until, at least a week or so. It's going to be pretty dreary. Nice shot, Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We're looking downtown off toward the northeast. Through downtown. All right, it's been windy. We have south winds 10 to 20 for us tonight. Gusts a little bit higher than that. These winds will start to pick up again as we get into the daytime hours for us tomorrow. Look at this in the morning. Gusts kind of 25 to 30. Even on Thursday, we'll have gusts in that 20 upwards to 25 mile per hour range. So it's going to be windy. All right, clouds continue to thicken up. This is what we'll see tonight ahead of our next storm system out to the west. We have one wave, New Mexico, the next part of the system right off the coast of California. Strong system, and that will start to affect us on Christmas Eve. All right, so let's go through time. We're looking at the upper levels or upstairs in the sky, and you can see our big storm system right off the coast of San Francisco. Here comes our first wave Thursday into Friday. Gives us rain. It pushes east. Here comes that stronger system rolling in, so rain increases again late Saturday night, and into Sunday morning. Of course, Sunday is Christmas Eve. As we get into Sunday afternoon, thunderstorms erupt. Some of these could be a little bit stronger. Snow up across the Dakotas. This system passes by on Christmas Day, but it kind of hangs up and plays havoc with us all next week and gives us cooler weather, maybe even a few snow showers. But at least we're going to get some rain. Stinks when people are traveling, but we need the rain. All right, tonight, cloudy skies dropping back near 40 for an overnight low. By noon, most of us are sitting lower 50s. Let's go into the afternoon. 57 in Nevada, 58 Monette, 57 in Miami, Parsons, also up to about 57. Cloudy skies tomorrow night, but by Thursday morning, a few hit and miss little showers. These are going to be very light showers, just kind of sprinkles and drizzle during the day on Thursday. But Thursday night, here comes a bigger batch of rain, showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms. So here's Thursday night, lasting into Friday morning, and then the rain will start to taper as we get into Friday afternoon. Rainfall with that wave, remember we are having numerous over the next several days. A lot of areas going to pick up a quarter, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, which we need. All right, day planner for you on Wednesday, 55 by 1, 57 by 3 p.m. So we'll go for a high of 57, 60 on Thursday, 57 on Friday, 60s again as we head into the holiday weekend, which is a little atypical for Christmas around these parts.
60 degrees.
Yeah. Crazy.
Enjoy it, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, Pittsburgh State men's basketball ends its quick trip to Las Vegas. Plus, 2 Galena High School football players commit to the same college. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
The early signing period for D1 football players begins tomorrow. Now, several of the high school senior student athletes in our area will be participating, but today, 2 seniors from Galena put pen to paper and commit to St. Mary of the NAIA. Devin Hetty and Casey Hopkins, 2 of the senior leaders from Galena's 2023 football team, make things official this afternoon. They're heading to Leavenworth to join the Spires, and the 2 of them have been very close friends and teammates dating back much further than their freshman year at Galena.
We've actually been teammates since Pee Wee football. We've been on the same team.
And we've always had that bond ever since Pee Wee football because we've just had each other's backs.
It kind of ended up happening, and it was also a plan. I met the coach my sophomore year at high school at a football camp, and, you know, just talked to him every so often and kept in contact with him. And all of a sudden, he got offered at the same time, and I was like, cool, I get my best friend with me. So I pretty much wasn't planned, but we lucked out with it.
Switching gears to college basketball, Pitt State men's hoops finishes its brief stint in Vegas today, playing its second game in as many days. And the Gorillas go 2 for 2 in Vegas. They win a shootout this afternoon over Henderson State, 97-87. 5 players in double figures for the Gorillas, including Jeremy Shaw, who has an incredible game for the second day in a row. He scores 29 points with a 9 of 10 shooting effort from the field and 4 of 4 from beyond the three-point line. Meanwhile, Missouri Southern women's basketball scheduled to play its third game in the past 6 days this evening on the road at 18th ranked Drury. At least that was the plan. However, a few hours before the game would have tipped off, it gets postponed. That's because injury and illness on Drury's roster, which leaves the Panthers without enough healthy players to play in a game tonight. No reschedule date as of now. The Lions' next game on their schedule is January 6th at Pitt State. And speaking of Pitt State, the Division II Women's Basketball Coaches Poll released this afternoon. Pittsburgh State makes its top 25 debut. The Gorillas are ranked the number 22 team in the country after a 10-1 start to the season, which included an overtime win over Central Missouri on Saturday. As you can see, the Jennies, though, the only other MIAA team ranked in the top 25, they're number 14, despite losing at home to the Gorillas and to Missouri Southern over the past week. Wrapping things up with college football, former Pitt State quarterback Ty Pennington will be joining his old teammate and head coach after entering the transfer portal. On Monday, Pennington announces he's committing to Northern Arizona, as did Colby Katzis, who committed the day before. Both will play under Brian Wright, who left Pitt State after 4 seasons as head coach, which included 2 MIAA championships and 2 second-round exits in the NCAA D2 playoffs. That's all for sports. We're back with more news after this.
After rumbling for weeks, a volcano in Iceland is erupting larger than scientists predicted and in the country's most populated area. Fox News correspondent Brian Linas has the latest on the spectacular display of nature's power.
I'm very excited to be here in this place, in this time.
The images coming out of Iceland are simply breathtaking. A major volcanic eruption is now underway, and the world has been watching live since Monday night. Lava is spewing from this 2.5-mile-long fissure or crack in the Earth's surface. At one point, the fountains of lava shooting up 330 feet into the air, flowing at a rate of 66,000 gallons per second. That has since decreased, but Icelandic officials are not taking any chances. The town of Grindavik, just 2 miles away, was evacuated last month after thousands of earthquakes caused damage there. Now police are out in force, making sure nobody was left behind.
We have cleared the town and the area, and now we're just securing the area and closing every roads to the area.
The eruption taking place about 30 miles southwest of Iceland's capital, Reykjavik, home to some 200,000 people. Icelandic officials are monitoring the lava, but at this point it does not appear to be flowing toward any towns or cities, and the government says there is no threat to life. Still, local residents are watching closely, hoping the flow does not shift and put populated areas at risk.
A town involved, which then might end up under the lava that's flowing behind us. So yeah, that's kind of mixed feelings, to be honest.
Volcano experts say despite the smoke and lava, there should be no disruption to air travel during this eruption. In New York, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Well, coming up, we'll get a sneak preview of the upcoming movie exploring the origins of racing icon Enzo Ferrari. Adam Driver is playing another Italian icon. He plays race car driver Enzo Ferrari in director Michael Mann's upcoming drama, Ferrari. Driver stars alongside Penelope Cruz and Shailene Woodley. The film arrives in theaters Christmas Day. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Adam Driver transforms into motor legend Enzo Ferrari in the new biopic Ferrari.
What I admired about him was his specificity and his constant quest for economy, and also someone who was self-made and injected himself into that world and became one of its leaders.
The film focuses on a period of the Italian auto giant's life when he was struggling professionally and personally.
He kind of is what I aspire to be in life, is someone who is, absorbs information, absorbs potential pitfalls, and tries to have this exterior of calm.
While seeking to dominate the racetrack, Ferrari was trying to keep his company from going bankrupt and dealing with a rocky marriage to his wife Laura, shaken by the death of their only son.
You were supposed to save him! People that knew her well, people that had seen her sometimes, it was a lot of negative talk in terms of, no, she was just crazy, she was a witch, she was difficult, she was like this parasite for the company because she was in charge of the finances.
Penelope Cruz, who portrays Laura Ferrari, says she was complex because of the things she went through.
It became like a personal thing to try to give her a voice and to create some justice for this character that represents so many women in similar situations.
I wonder if we need back. Shailene Woodley plays Lena Lardy, Ferrari's mistress and mother of his surviving son, Piero.
She just knew how to speak her mind in a way that was inclusive and inviting and warm, and not divisive and not off-putting. And that was something that we were really keen on creating within the relationship between Lena and Enzo.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Yeah, looks like a good one. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a sea otter pup at the Shed Aquarium in Chicago. Aw, have a great night and an even better tomorrow.